It's the conversation that needs to come up. We need to get to the bottom of eligibility.
And the tiers.
And the tiering.
Well, the tiering has to go.
Look at these little tails that cover it all up.
You should have looked when it was following me around your place.
Kind of pinch yourself to see one of the greats of the game.
Oh.
One of?
The great.
Oh, I'm joking.
Yes, hello and welcome to Freddy the Eighth for this week. Gentlemen, great to see you. How are we feeling this week?
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to the footy this weekend.
Yeah.
There's some games I can't wait for.
Is there one in particular that you're really looking forward to?
Battle of Brookie.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a good one.
Roosters South. You didn't see that one?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the Battle of Brookie.
A bit more. We, of course, are brought to you by Sportsbet, and we've got a huge show coming your way here. The boys will tell you how your team is travelling after a month of the competition. Cessnock's very own Fletcher Sharpe joins the team, and the Freddy and the Eighth medal, Freddy's best tries, much more, and we'll be previewing all of the games coming up on 9. Also, too, if you missed it last week, we do have a brand new email address. Apparently, it's getting flooded with emails at the moment, and so you can send any questions you have to f8@9.com.au. Have you checked in on the emails?
No. Oh, yeah, they sent me some guy singing a song with a pig's head on.
Yeah, and the song's called
Joey
Johns.
Is it?
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what he's...
Looks like he was...
Would you have it on mute?
I thought he was singing it on at a swingers club or something.
He could have been, but
I hope so.
it was called Joey Johns.
Was that what the song was called?
That was what the song was called. Yeah, it's called Joey
God.
Johns, and he performs it live.
We're going to put it on
We're going to put it on later on in the show. We've also dug into the archives, though, and found some really original shots of your war with Wayne Bennett, the Handshake war with Wayne Bennett. We're going to see another version of it, the next chapter of it this Friday when you try and hopefully interviewing him again. But check this out.
The NRL's most laid-back coach was anything but that when he thought he spotted a spy at his training session today. Fittler confronted the mystery man, fearing he was passing on secrets to Wayne Bennett. But he was relieved when he found out the man in question was a Telstra worker. It's Fittler's first as a coach, and he says the Broncos have problems at this time of the year.
Well, they've won 3 out of their last 11, so it's not all rosy up there.
Fittler has played it smart in recent weeks. His mentor, Phil Gould, has helped with the team, but Bennett has questioned the value of introducing Gould at this point in the season.
Information overload becomes an issue then. This is the time of the year, I always feel you've got to be kind of backing it off, not building it up.
But Fittler wasn't fussed about Bennett's view on Gould.
I don't really care, actually.
That looks so much like your young bloke. That looks like Zach.
Wow.
Were you feeling the pressure? Do you remember
that was such a brilliant time of the year. We had a really good team. They ended up beating us in the semi-final, and we went to the New Zealand the week after, but no, it was fantastic.
Loved it?
I can't believe I sort of tried to... Ivan Cleary told me, actually, he got caught in the same sort of banter. He said, mate, why would you ever take on Wayne Bennett in the media? So that was pretty dumb.
I loved it how you thought that someone was spying in on your training session.
You get that paranoid. Only a coach. Who's talking about me? What are you doing?
But so that might have been the start of your...
You'd love coach.
No, well, I was just thinking that. Yeah. Oh, more padded cells in the house.
I remember asking you one day about how much it would take for you to coach, and you said there's no amount of money in the world. But look at this. This is over the years, the amount of times that you've
Well, it might have gone back to then, 2008.
There you go. What's he going to do? No, he wouldn't even.
Look at Wayne's face when he
I might change it to the fist pump, but make it easier for him.
He just looks down at it.
Just that smile when he left.
Can you give us,
what it is.
What are you going to try this week? You tried fist pumping.
Well,
last
am I
week.
interviewing?
Well, I think
it might
so.
be Thursday.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
Friday.
I'll go. I'm a modern guy.
Did you ever get coached by Wayne?
No.
No.
There was one. He coached the Australian team one off season, and I had an operation. They went to New Zealand. Did you play in that?
Yeah, late 90s, yeah. He was so good. So simple.
One of the best people managers.
Oh, the best, the best.
I assisted him a couple of years with the All-Stars.
All-Stars, yeah.
He's good. He didn't do much.
Just takes a bit of sort of a backseat approach, lets everyone do their job, and then just is that mentor from
If things are humming, he doesn't say anything. He just lets it go, and he knows when to chime in.
Knows when to chime in.
Knows when.
And he backs himself, and he backs the people around him.
I think one of the things that a lot of players say as well is the fact that, he just has such a calming influence, especially before big games. You know, if they might be getting in their own head or whatever, he'll read the room really well and sort of have a muck around or have a joke with someone if he can tell that they're getting nervous. So he's a very good people person as well. So there you go. Looking forward to seeing what happens on Friday night with the fist pump.
Might go for a cuddle.
Oh, there you go.
I was going to go somewhere with that.
Yeah, go. We're on late at night.
No, not late enough.
All right. Let's talk some news this week. Payne Haas, Michael Shamus broke the story yesterday that Payne Haas is potentially involved in discussions to change his allegiance to Samoa. What do we make of this? Did you expect it to be coming?
No, I didn't. But
not surprising.
It's the conversation that needs to come up. We need to get to the bottom of eligibility.
And the tiers.
And the tiering and...
Well, the tiering has to go.
Well, yeah, exactly. Origin doesn't change. So the conversation to Origin doesn't even change. So it's towards international football.
So if you're in Australia, you're in Australia before the age... Well,
pretty much it's high school.
But is it 12 or 13? We've got to have...
I think it's high school. I think there's about 5 things you've got to tick.
Your age changes between Queensland and...
So someone like Kalen Ponga, where they're talking about Kalen, the rumour is he wants to play for the Kiwis to honour his dad's Māori heritage. He's born here. He can play for New Zealand. He can play for Australia. For Queensland. Victor Radley's Victor wanted to play for England because of his dad Nigel. He's born in Bronte. He can play.
Yeah, and
then the Pacifica one is the big one.
It's how you go through. Given that a lot of the Pacifica players are now choosing to actually play for Samoa and Tonga and
Fiji,
for whatever reason, it's about then you can't go back. You need to pick someone once you start, and that's your choice pretty much for your career. Because there used to be a big thing. Everyone wanted to play for Australia, and then if they didn't get picked in Australia, they then go and play for Samoa or Tonga.
So what,
or Fiji.
before you make your NRL debut, you fill out something where you
you do that at the moment. And there's a choice if you fall under those protocols that you can pick Australia and then Samoa.
Yeah, so you shouldn't be able to chop and change. You should.
Well, it's getting to the stage now. If you think about the Pacific Championships on at the end of the year, like the interest in that game, and when you look at someone like Payne Haas might be playing for Samoa, it's going to be extremely competitive and it's going to be great to watch. So, at the moment, I think we need to nail this because it could be a month of footy that is something to look forward to.
And that's the thing. I think it's great that you've got so many superstar players that are sort of spread across the board now. Because it's going to be a strong competition when there are Test matches or when there are Pacific Championships, whatever it is.
Well, they're going to consistently beat Australia and New Zealand, Samoa and Tonga. PNG's coming into the NRL in a couple of years, so they're only going to get stronger and stronger. Fiji's got that team that's in the Queensland Cup, Petro. What are they called?
No, they're in the New South Wales one, the Jim Beam Cup, I think it is.
So
one of them.
the Fijian team's going to get stronger. Silktails, yeah. So it is so good for international footy.
How far away do you think we are from changing the tiers, changing those rules?
Hopefully very
soon. Extremely soon.
Surely has to happen soon.
I think at the moment Australia going over to England, so I don't think it really matters so much this year, but from a point of view of like Joey said with New Zealand, another one is, I know Tyron Smith really well, so his son Remus, grew up and born in Mascot, and plays for New Zealand, but he should be able to play for New South Wales.
All right, we're 1 month into the competition. Can you believe it? It's flown by.
It's been so good.
It's been great. So we're going to do a bit of a breakdown of the clubs and see where your club is tracking. So we've got 4 categories that you can put your teams in. Sitting pretty, needs work,
itchy bum.
Twitchy
I haven't got my glasses on.
And red alert. So twitchy bum means a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Is twitchy bum and red alert, does that go hand in hand?
You came up with the names. So.
Sitting pretty.
Sitting pretty, they're comfortable.
I think the Storm are sitting pretty. I think it's one of those bludgers of a day, and the Dragons play the conditions better, but I think the Storm are going good.
I don't know about the Storm, Freddie. I don't think they've been exceptional. They just beat Penrith down there.
You've spoken a lot about Penrith lately, fatigued, played a lot of footy. Yeah, you look at
they blew Parramatta away round 1.
Well, Paps looks great, but he hasn't done the workload like the other blokes. Munster's played a lot of footy. Harry Grant's played a lot of footy.
Well, they missed a heap of players on the weekend. Jerome Hughes was a big one out, and it was a wet conditions at Cogra.
Were you surprised to see his name this week?
Who's that?
Jerome Hughes.
Yeah, there was Marley who's going to come back quicker. I don't know whether he will be playing.
He makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, something that you could both agree on, twitchy bum for Penrith.
Yes.
Bit nervous.
Well, you have a look at their stats. The stats don't lie defensively. They're leaking a lot more points. We all know they've continually lost class players or champion players every year. I still can't believe they lost this game. But we'll know more this week with Nathan coming back where they got the Cows.
Mate, this is a really good challenge for him because the Cowboys on paper are a really strong team, and I think Jake Clifford showed that he's going to direct them around and they've got enough football in them to shock anyone. Purdue, he's got some speed. They've got big wingers. So I just feel like this is a really good challenge for them.
So what category did you put the Cowboys in?
The Cowboys are...
Red alert?
Red alert.
Yeah. Red alert. They had 2 injuries in the off-season. Helam Luki was a massive
Gone for the year.
And
The centre.
Yeah, they got to do it consistently week in, week out. There's some good signs last week. Jake Clifford, I've always had a rap on Jake. He's got to do it week in, week out. This bloke tries his heart out all the time. But they've got players coming to the end. Taumalolo's coming to the end. Yeah.
What about
Nanai? They've got to get Nanai. Nanai's on the bench again. He came on and scored, set up the try, set up a try.
We don't know what's happened in the off-season, whether he's underdone or whether he's carrying a few kilos. Or, it was a big decision by the coach, Toddy Payton, to drop him.
Because he came out and he was pretty open about it, dropping Nanai. But yeah, I know what you mean. You don't know really what's happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, there's obviously a reason. And
when
you drop him defensively that night, he was poor, Jeremiah.
But I don't think his back rows. I don't think his back rows are doing any better.
Well, Cohen Hess plays in the middle now, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he comes off the bench.
Well, plenty for another.
But he didn't learn. I felt like he didn't learn anything from Taumalolo. He did the same thing to Jason Taumalolo, and they just had a pretty ordinary season. And I don't think they got the best out of Jason that year. So anyway, but it's only round 4.
Because sometimes you do have that thought process where you're thinking that might ignite them and you might have a huge response. But, as you said, it's only round 4, so plenty of footy still to come. But a couple of teams that are sitting pretty and a couple with a twitchy bum and a few on red alert too. Last time we get you to come up with the categories in.
I didn't do that. It was Murray who puts the show together.
All right, stick around. Coming up after the break, Fletcher Sharpe, Newcastle's very own, joins us live here on the lounge. Great to chat to him up next. Plus, we talk Manly and that man, Tom Trbojevic.
Best tattoo? I reckon, I don't know, I wouldn't say. Who would have the best tattoo? Which camera's rolling?
Greg Muzzer.
I like a lot of the Islander boys' traditional way. Like Leo and his brother Tyrone have got matching Tomokos. I reckon they're the best.
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
Yeah, Brady's got a few good ones.
His leg one's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Probably Brady best.
Brady's got some mad ones.
I like yours. I probably couldn't do that.
Depends what look you like.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Like yours a little.
I like that look on you.
Yeah, and that cute little look suits you. So like if we were to swap, it wouldn't work.
I got one for worse. Tyson Gamble's got a pretty bad one on the back of his neck there. It's not great.
Tyson Gamble's back tattoos.
Oh, that's shocking.
Yeah. Oh, KP's got the worst.
Sorry, Kalen, man. I'm not a fan of stickers. Kalen, I'm coming for you, bro.
Well, he's got his dog on his shoulder. that's all right. He's got X's and O's on his quad.
Yeah, that one's bad. That's looks like a home job.
He's sponsored by Nike and he's got the tick there. That's
not my favourite.
That's cash.
It's not cash. I like that one. Yeah.
Kalen, I love your tattoos, man. They let him see that.
Brady's got this one behind his ear. It's a Chinese symbol, and for the first few months, he convinced me that it said honey chicken. It doesn't.
Yeah, some very imaginative tattoos there. And Fletcher Sharpe joins us here on the couch. Great to have you on the show. We saw a couple of your tattoos. How many have you got?
Only a handful. A couple of little, just kind of ones for myself, mum and dad's birthday, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing too big.
Joey, what have you got? You got a couple. Do we remember getting them all?
No, not all of them.
What one don't you remember getting?
Rock and roll. That was in the cross. And someone took the photo and sure enough, front page. What an idiot.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's on my ribs. I don't know which side.
And what's the other one that you don't remember getting?
I got one on my foot. I had to get that covered up.
What was it?
I'm not saying. Oh, my God. Anyway.
At least you remember getting all of yours.
I do.
Okay, that is good news. That is good news. Well, welcome. Great to have you on the show. Talk us through a little bit. Obviously, we know a bit about you. You're Cessnock born and bred. Footy, has it always been something that's just been in your blood from such a young age?
Yeah, like you said, growing up in Cessnock, there was not really much else to do. I think I just about played every sport you could think of out there. If it wasn't footy season, I was playing cricket. If it wasn't cricket, I was playing basketball. Annoyed the crap out of my parents. Whenever I was sat there for about 10 minutes, I'd pull the on-board card. They'd have to take me to something sporty.
You're a really good cricketer, Fletcher, yeah? You had to sort of choose between rugby league and cricket?
I wouldn't say really good. I tried my luck.
The Mayo was. You had a lot of talent.
I enjoyed it.
Was there a part there that, from a young age, did you know that footy was something that you wanted to chase, or were you tossing up a few different sports, or was rugby league always sort of in the eyesights?
Footy was always the main one. Something that caught my eye from a young age. I used to watch every single game from as long as I can remember really. Whenever I was at home doing nothing, Mum would just put me in front of the TV and I'd sit there for hours, watch game after game, and then I kind of just fell in love with it. Started at goalies as young as you could play, sort of 2 years of under sixes, and then it all went from there.
We saw the clips just then, the highlights of you playing. You look like there's no nerves. And I actually called you the night before your debut. You were like rats. Yeah, looking forward to it. Is that how you play? Like there's no real nerves? Looks like you just get out there and play.
I was probably just pumped I got your phone call. I kind of take a relaxed approach, I guess. I just enjoy playing footy. I think that's the way I try and play. Just not really think about it too much, back my ability. Ads and the coaching staff have been really good with that. Just telling me to go out there and play my game. That gives me a lot of confidence to just go out there and enjoy it.
People from within the club have been telling me for a few years that you're a fullback, Fletcher Sharpe from Cessnock coming back, and so I've sort of watched your career come through. But as a fullback, you came in on the wing, you scored all those tries on debut, or was that on debut? When you scored?
I started at fullback and then a couple of games in went to the wing. Yeah.
And then you scored those tries at home, but then now you got the 6 on your back, and they're saying even you could play number 7. Do you think you could handle week in, week out playing number 7?
I'd like to think so. Like you said, all my juniors were played in either the 6 or 7 kind of role until 18 sort of years, and then I only moved back there due to we had an injury. I remember in one of our Harold Matts teams, and then didn't really go back from that. But I guess it would take a little bit of getting used to a different sort of role, but I'd back myself to put my hand up, take that role if that's what the team needed.
How have you found it sort of coming through? You would have, played so much junior footy, especially around that Hunter region, but, you're, I think, 15 games into your NRL career now. How do you find everything else that comes along with playing professional rugby league?
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a crazy ride. I think last year I was kind of just riding the emotions. It all happened pretty quick, but had a good bit of time to reflect over the break and think about how special it really was. I'm still living out at home, so it's pretty cool to head out there and people come up and tell you how proud they are that someone from Cessnock's back playing in the NRL. It's pretty cool to get those kind of.
So still living with mum and dad?
Still with mum and dad, yeah. It's too easy at home.
Kalon, what's it like playing with him?
Yeah, it's unreal. Probably the best player in the game. He just tells you when he wants the ball, where he needs the ball, and 10 times out of 10 pretty well he makes the right play.
I saw the attack against the Dolphins especially. It was tweaked where Kalon was actually playing in attacking areas, playing first receiver, and yourself and Cogs were playing out the back. How'd you find that?
Yeah, it's something we kind of worked on. That's where we'd like to get to, where all three spine members can kind of just play a similar role, depending on where we get to on the field. Whoever's in that part of the field steps up, takes the first receiver role, and just trying to link up as much as we can. When one goes, the next one tries to go the next play, and it's definitely still a lot to work on, but I think there's some promising signs.
We've also got some jerseys here of Cessnock. Obviously, growing up in Cessnock, you would have heard about the great.
This one's the greatest one, the Oak. I remember, like, growing up, I was ball boy for Cessnock for sort of 6-7 years, and the Oak one was just iconic. Oh, there's in the backyard.
There you go.
It's in 10 South Avenue. I probably shouldn't say where Mum and Dad live. Where everyone knows anyway. They still live in that house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is, it's a really iconic jersey, the Oak one.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Actually, given it to me off my uncle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he reckons he played in the 7 jersey, but I don't know. I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Well, in those days, growing up in Cessnock, your heroes were the guys that played for Cessnock, not in the Winfield Cup, it was called then. There's some Cessnock greats. Now, pretty much everyone other than Billy Peden represented Australia, and Don Schofield, Dave Parkinson, George Amber and Frank Stanmore, they represented Australia from Cessnock. Billy Peden, incredible player, won 2 grand finals, one playing lock, scored 2 tries in 2001, and the 97 grand final he started hooker. Not many people realise that.
Yeah.
Win 2 grand finals at 2 different positions.
Did you know much of the history of the players who had come through Cessnock to make it in rugby league?
Yeah, it's always kind of talked about out there. They're a pretty proud community, so let most people know if they've come from Cessnock that that's where they're from. So I guess it's always kind of talked about when you're coming up through the ranks, players that have made it in the big stage.
It's just huge in Cessnock, and also the women's side of things. My sister now coaches the OzTag team, and the numbers in the girls is just going through the roof. It's huge, and then come game day in Cessnock, it's just everyone going out to watch.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you met Joey?
No, not.
Probably when I went back up a couple of years ago to help out.
Probably when I was, I think a couple of years ago I sort of started coming in to do days every now and then when Joey was back in there helping around the club, and kind of pinch yourself to see one of the greats of the game.
Oh.
One of?
The great.
Oh, I'm joking.
Well, thanks so much for joining us here on Freddy the Eighth. It's a really nice insight to see, you know, your career and your build up to rugby league, and you're going great guns at the moment as well. And we've got some of your boots as well, if you want to give them a little bit of a plug.
Sick. Oxen, yeah, they're looking after.
So where are these from, Fletch?
They're based out of the UK. They're big in over in the Super League, and they're sort of making the move over into the Australian side of things, but no, they're a great boot. I've been loving wearing them.
You just started wearing them this year?
Started the back end of last year.
Any other boys wearing it?
There's a few throughout the competition now, yeah.
Okay, cool.
A couple of big names jumping on board.
There you go. All right, well, stick around. We've got plenty more coming your way here on Freddy the Eighth. Coming up next, which one of these tries will make it onto Freddy's leaderboard? We'll reveal all after the break.
Got him. Fiddler, heading for the corner, pulled down about a metre away. He scores! Brad Fiddler has scored from the play the ball.
What a try that was. Freddie, talk us through that. That was an old rule.
Well, in the old days, if there was no marker, you could tap the ball forward. You could actually tap the ball sideways. The ball just had to clear the ruck. So basically, I remember playing the ball and the blokes were apart, and that's why I was sort of playing on the ground. I was just waiting for it to open a little bit, and I just, little pitching wedge, just chipped it over their feet.
There you go, this moment.
Did you tear your groin? Is that your groin?
No, that was, I think that was the year before, actually.
13. Was Andrew Walker playing?
Yep.
5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Like
I played lock. I would have played lock a lot more than 5'8".
What, for the Roosters?
And Panthers.
But started in the centres?
No, started in the centres and played lock towards the end, and then also Played a couple of years at lock at the Roosters. Loved it. Lock was good.
What made it so enjoyable?
You had to work. I could get a bit lazy, I think, at stages.
You didn't have to think that much either, would you?
No, you had to. And it was different. It was a different style of play. You sort of played a bit like a fullback. You sort of bounced on blind sides and you played... it was very different to how it is now. You weren't like a middle forward and you actually defended on an edge as a lock too. So, because the halfback used to actually sometimes sit behind the line and defend behind the line.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah.
So Malcolm really used to call it Bobby, which was a policeman from behind. Yeah. But they used to split. We used to split locks and 5/8.
Yeah.
And just without the
and jump
halfback
in and out when you had to.
The half and fullback would go everywhere, and then
Adrian Lamb used to do it really well. He'd sort of sit behind, and then the third tackle or something, he'd just sprint as they played it, and just come up and just whoever got it, mate, they'd take him down on the advantage line.
You're going to itch your bum or something.
I'm getting one, but I'm about to do some tries. About to score some tries.
You're good. I didn't even have to direct you there. You knew what was happening.
I was getting edgy towards Preston's quick hands.
Ooh.
Yes. What a game he had. We're not going to do that one, though.
Oh, footwork.
This reminded me, left foot. First got a pass off a front rower. Look at that. Left foot. Comes to the fullback, teases his outside. Looks like he's going to the corner post. It reminded me when I was about 18. If I tried that now...
Your left foot.
What would you do, a groin?
Oh, I'd do everything. It took a lot of effort, let me tell you. I love that.
All right, so where does that one place?
It's above Payne, a little bit more effort than Payne, and a bit more than Buller, so I'm going to put it up there, Goosey.
All right.
Double left foot.
All right, what about Preston's?
Preston. I love he actually scored a try and set up a try, but I just love the way he went from the right-hand side, he's a right-side back rower, goes over to the left, he's playing with someone that he's not familiar with, and just somehow drags it in just because he wants it that bad. What a great try. What a great team player. I still don't know how good a try it is, but I enjoyed watching. So it's sitting below Payne at the moment. I maybe got too many tries up there. And then once again, we see this every week now. And I said this before the game, I'm sure we're going to see this. Shift to the right. Once again, Jason Saab. Watch this acceleration.
Longest legs.
What about that? I think he's already on there. If he's not, I'm going to have to move it up.
I saw him before. Well, he's out there warming. He walked past me. I went, how heavy are you, Jason? He's 105 kilos.
Looks stronger, doesn't he?
He glides when he runs. It's incredible. But the thing that we were talking about, his legs, they're so long. So his upper body isn't as...
he's a reverse sausage dog. He's a flamingo.
He's a llama.
In COVID, we used to go to his place to film it, and one of the llamas was on heat.
Mate, they are the horniest animals you've ever seen.
What, llamas?
Well, the male is.
It's just, honestly, it was following me around Freddy's.
Did you stop?
It was like being at a blue light disco back in Cessnock back in the day. I wish.
The llama was just following you around on heat.
Following me around.
We used to go out at night, she'd just have the hose out, throwing stuff.
What's the names of your llamas? Barrack.
And Michelle.
And Michelle Llama.
Yeah.
Here are your votes.
So I got it wrong though, of course, anyway. That's another story. I'll tell that another day.
This is for Freddy the Eighth medal.
Loving Jaden Campbell at the moment. Plenty of spark, took a great intercept. Keon's just a couple of tries and just providing plenty. And then Jake Clifford, I thought he was awesome.
How good was he?
He was really good.
Week in, week out. Jake, he's a good player.
Looks fit.
I got Wade Egan. Oh, he's Freddie's.
Well, I just thought everything about him. He's just... Everyone's sort of waiting there and going, can he defend in the front line? But what they're doing is they're scoring 30 points a game because he's just wild. He's in it, he's fast, he's got his hands on the ball. This is Verrills. This is your man, Tino. Joey?
He's a machine, isn't he? He is a machine.
This one was an interesting one. It was great to see the crowd response.
Oh, it was a good day. When he came out to warm up, there's Hannah from Channel 9 family, and they gave him a standing ovation. It must have lifted him, but also the team. And once again, it was a Cherry Evans performance. He just controlled everything. They just know their footy. Just a real polished Cherry Evans. Yeah, I put him in there purely because the pressure he would have been under coming in and the unknown of what sort of reception I'm going to get, and once again he delivered.
Jake Clifford scored a couple of tries. This one just feeling his way across the field, bit of strength. He looks stronger. Sort of looks like he's grown up, actually. He's one of those kids, I think he was a gun youngster. It looks like he never just really toughened the training, and then I think all of a sudden he just now is looking like a man, and he could make a huge difference to this team.
Went to England, once again, one of those.
Went to England?
Came back and went to the Knights. Saw so much talent in Jake, and we can see the talent's got to do it week in, week out.
Well, the other thing is too is not everyone matures at the same time. Like, don't be impatient with good people and good players. Keon Kalamatangi, I remember speaking to Jairo saying he got the choice. He was a bit disappointed, plays with Cody, and he's just a weapon on their left-hand side. I think we spoke about how fit he's looking at the moment.
He deleted Uber Eats from his phone.
Did he?
He actually says that, yeah. He used
Isn't
to
it amazing? The thing
he liked the late night, is it the...
Ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
He stopped dessert. That's how he dropped 10 kilos.
The little changes in life.
My number 3, I gave Wade Egan. He is such a good dummy half player.
This is a great try. Look
he
at
brings his team, his forwards, onto the ball. He's got the no-look double pump pass. And once again, another Penrith junior.
9, 6 and 3 that last try. That was awesome. And Jaden Campbell, he's just alive.
How good is he?
He's a handful.
Jaden? What do you reckon his best position is?
His king's good. Well, you know what? We've only just started to see him at halfback, and at the moment, he looks good. I watched him in the Canterbury game. They didn't have much luck in that game, and they came back on the left-hand side and scored a few tries. So I think just wait and see at the moment.
Well, this is the leaderboard, but this is interesting because with Tom Turbo out for the next few weeks, there's going to be some changes at the very top. So who knows what could happen after this week.
We're cheering on Corey Horsburgh. We want to take him out for a late lunch.
Go Big Red.
In around October time.
Mate, he's got to stop making errors. I think the first game he was so good and he was brilliant. And then I think just since then he just sort of, get the basics right first, and I think he'll sort of then be a lot more valuable for the Raiders.
Has he got any llamas at his house?
I was going to say we're going to come back because I want to hear this llama story. But right now we're off to a quick break, and don't forget Friday Night Footy. This is going to be an almighty showdown. The Rabbitohs up against the Roosters. This is one rivalry, and guess who's back as well? Latrell Mitchell. We cannot wait for this. Well, welcome back to Freddy and the Eighth, and there were plenty of eyes on Tom Trbojevic on the weekend. He obviously has had a bit of a disrupted start to the season. He had that tight hammy, missed the game, and then you actually broke the story, Joey, in the pre-show on Sunday that he had the strapping on his knee, but then...
Mr. Exclusive.
Yeah, in that first half he went down with another MCL injury, and it was hard to watch. He could barely run at speeds. Why would they risk playing him if he did that knee injury in captain's run the day before?
Well, he must have said it's not too bad.
He always wants to play.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
He'd be that frustrated that he's not playing.
But does it come down to you sometimes do you have to take it out of the player's hand?
Yeah, always.
Do you worry? Do you worry now going forward? Or are MCLs sort of ones that...
And they're not too bad, have you, medial?
No.
Yeah, they're not too bad. They're different to an ACL.
Can they still continue their sort of red-hot charge without him?
I think so. Lehigh Hopewadi. They'll change a little bit the way they play. So it's Turbo and Paseka. They're the ones out, pretty much.
And Josh Aloiai, he's out this week.
I think they win. I really like him this week at Brookie.
Sunday. Pretty good weather this week. I think it sort of gets a little bit wet towards Sunday, but the surface should be great.
Yeah, all right. Well, wishing Tom Trbojevic the best of luck in his recovery, and never like to see sort of the superstars of the game.
Well, we just saw there, Lehigh Hopewadi went to fullback, a beautiful pass.
We're going to be speaking about Lehigh in a second. Let's have a look at our Sportsbet having a crack. We love to see players having a crack across the weekend of footy. So what about this one? Jaden Sewer, sealing the game.
He's been in good form.
He's aggressive, isn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to tackle you. He wants to tackle you and throw you in the ground.
He's aggressive with the ball too. Plenty of tackle breaks, line breaks. Billy will be smiling.
Can't stop, won't
Well,
stop.
he's another one who can play for Samoa. Look at their forward pack. Payne, Terrell May, Spencer, Josh Papali'i, Jaden Sewer,
Tina.
Ailua,
What's Tino's?
Tino? Well, he's
Tino's played for Australia, so...
Jeremiah Nene.
That's a daunting task for anyone coming up against them, that's for sure. And our other player having a crack thanks to Sportsbet, we mentioned him just before, Lehigh Hopewadi filling in for Turbo. It's obviously, you never want to see Turbo go off, but what a great opportunity as well for Lehigh, getting those extra matches in at fullback.
He's just got class. Class.
Well, he'll get tested because, like, Melbourne will have a plan. They would have watched him at fullback and they got a couple of kickers, so it'll be a really good opportunity for him to show everyone about getting the defence right. Like, even the moment Turbo got back up in the line, that was the thing everyone's talking about. Like, the defence was a bit askew. Turbo just got up and went bang, pointed a few people, they're back on track. So it's a big challenge. Like, it's a daunting, especially against someone like Melbourne, who they throw a lot at you. So look forward to seeing how he goes.
Yeah, yep, certainly is. All right, well, they're having a crack thanks to Sportsbet. Speaking of Sportsbet, let's check in with them now.
Hell hath no fury like a scorned ex, but who's the most scorned of those exes? Gutherson, Lomax for me. It's Gutho, Combank Stadium. They haven't won without him since 2017. Parramatta, you are in trouble with the great Gutho coming back. Anyway, enjoy it. Max bet $100.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
So it was Adam Blair and Glenn Stewart in an embrace of the century. And they're still... Hang on. They better stay... Oh, it's on again! It's on again! Glenn Stewart and Adam Blair. Here come the reinforcements. They've got come from the bench as well.
Oh, what a scene this was, 2011, and this would have been replayed that many times since. Every time there is a match between the Melbourne Storm and the Sea Eagles at Brookvale Oval, we certainly get our fair share of seeing the Battle of Brookie again. How bad do you think it would?
I love it. We've scrapped it out of the game.
Yeah,
but every
it's all we talk about.
Put it on.
It's so. It honestly is one of the moments in rugby league that you look back on.
Rewind the game. Pretend the game's 1985. Everyone turn up in stubbies and scoops and just let them like the Wild West.
Just fight.
We were talking before in your tips that we did. Who would be involved if it happened this weekend? Who do you think the instigators would be? No way. I suggested Nathan Brown, maybe.
Nathan Brown.
He'd love a fight.
Yeah, and then who from Melbourne?
Melbourne. Nelson's not playing, is he? He loves fighting.
Oh.
Didn't he fight a bloke in Bali? Yeah. Imagine being at a nightclub and Nelson wants to fight you. Oh, seriously.
Mummy! All right, let's have a look at this week's matches. Thursday night kicks off with a good match. This is a great encounter. The Raiders and the Sharks at GIO Stadium. The Raiders, they've been so strong to start the season.
Strong at home. Remember they smashed the Brisbane 3 weeks ago? Been on the road twice. Lost both those. Ricky will have them. Ricky coached. He coached Cronulla too, didn't he? And their forwards look awesome, the Raiders.
There was that semi-final where Cronulla actually beat them. Mick Innes was clapping. So there's this little bit of hatred between Canberra and Cronulla. So he'll have Horsburgh firing. Tarpanay and Papali got off, which I was surprised with. So they'll make the most of it. Their defence on the right, their right side defence.
It's got to improve.
They've got to make some tackles. Look how they're coming at. Like, this is where Mulatalo side, they're always coming at you.
Talakai, Iro, and Big Tommy's out. And the Raiders, I think they're pretty much sort of full strength. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, pretty much. I like the Raiders. I think they're really good things down there.
Do you like the back row, the Pommy bloke, Matty?
Yeah, Nicholson.
Yeah.
Good player. Really good player. I text Paul Cullen, the guy that coached me at Warrington, and he said, loves it. He said, mentally, the way he plays mentally is very much like Victor Radley. I went, okay. Is there any Pommies come out of the north of England who aren't tough?
Mad.
All mad. All mad.
All right, so you both tipping the Raiders in this one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Rabbitohs and Roosters. This one is going to be, it's the rivalry that is the rivalry. Latrell back.
Victor's out.
Latrell at centre too.
Connor Watson's back.
Yes.
He made a difference. He brings Sanderson alive. Sandon Smith, sorry, the 5'8".
Latrell looks fit and focused. Can you imagine? He's going to explode. And that side of the field defensively for the Roosters, Robert Toyer and also Chad Townsend's been quite brittle. So that side they're going to have Cody coming with Keon Koloamatangi, Gray out the back, and then a bloke called Latrell Mitchell.
The thing they'll do, I reckon, is play out of trouble too.
He uses the ball.
They don't normally, but I reckon they'll give him a couple of runs out of trouble. He looks fit, looks ready.
So you're tipping
Roosters.
Not convincingly.
I've heard a bit of male whisper. I'm hearing a whisper. Hugo Savala may start in the halves.
Instead of Chad.
That's what,
Yeah, right.
Whisper.
So
he'll
does
be
that
taking
change?
Latrell.
Does that change your tip, or are you still tipping the Bunnies?
I think the Bunnies.
Okay. All right, and then the Balla Brookie Seagulls and the Melbourne Storm.
Manly.
Yeah, I'm going Manly too.
Jerome Hughes made me think a lot. Every tip this week, I thought, you know what? I'm not confident with any of them.
Yeah, I'm not convinced either.
That's good. It's good for the comp, isn't it?
The Sharks Canberra game. That's the one that I've struggled with thinking who's.
Oh no, I really like the Raiders.
I did tip the Raiders, but
I reckon Brisbane. If I had a sure bet this week, it'd be Brisbane to beat the Tigers. No Jerome.
All right, well there you go. There are tips for all the games coming up on 9. Stick around though, because we're going to wrap things up with a very good Llama story. You're watching Freddy the Eighth. We'll be back in a tick. All right, it is time for the Llama story. I've been waiting for this one.
Okay, so when I got my llamas, they come in. I was so excited. I named them on appearance more. So anyway, that night, Marie and I went out, and Michelle, because we had Michelle and Barrick, but Michelle was having her way with Barrick, so I just had to change their names.
So you got
fluid. Is that that's it now? Gender fluid?
Yeah. So I just
it
just seemed appropriate.
Did you not do a check?
I didn't look.
You didn't look.
Look at these little tails that cover it all up.
You should have looked when it was following me around your place.
Well, actually,
it was like the Benny Hill show.
Was it Michelle or Barack who was following him around?
It was Barack.
Oh, those rest in peace.
I was sort of terrified and sort of.
You sort of slowed down a little bit.
The noises coming out of Barack.
Oh, all right. Well, rest in peace.
Llamas
The llamas, they're no longer.
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. The llamas are no longer, but the
Horny
footy
is a
certainly
llama.
is. Thanks for joining us here on Freddy the Eighth. Enjoy the footy over the weekend, and we'll catch you again right here next week. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.